All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all the praises, the glory, and the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakodash, double honors to my elders and apostles of great most, so much other men that rule well and taught us his truth, peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. As always, signs of the times, man. That's the title. Real quick, end time headlines. National Guard arrives in Illinois as Chicago mayor declares war on Trump. Man, this is a beautiful thing to see, man, because, hey, like the scriptures say, a kingdom divided, right, shall not stand. And I'm going to read that. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit of this article first and then get some precepts right here in my notes. All right, as you can see, signs of the times. Not too many. Just wanted to touch on what's going on, man. And when you see, and because right now, right, LA did a lot of, they did a decent amount of resisting, but Chicago is on another level, man. In Chicago, they don't play. In Chicago, Illinois, man, you got, Jake. It's probably Northern Kingdom because, Northern Kingdom, they love to have the trucks. They loading up their trucks with rammers in the front, putting different bumper guards in the front, and literally ramming ICE, man, and beating up ICE. They out there beating the shit out of them, man. In LA, they was beating up ICE, but they wasn't chasing them around like in Chicago, man. Chicago, hey, man, that's gangland, man. That's why, that's probably why, strategically Esau, because really this is all orchestrated by Esau. He's trying to set this up so that he can declare what's going on in Chicago. He declared martial law everywhere. That's what he wants to do. And what you see going on in gangland right now is what's going to happen to every major city. Okay? Because, look at the headline. It says that Chicago mayor declares war on Trump. That's a nation divided. That's the Egyptian against the Egyptian, man. Okay? So I must just read a little bit of the article and then go in to the precepts, which is the most important thing. Salakia, 200 members of the Texas National Guard arrived in Illinois on Tuesday to protect federal personnel and property during ongoing anti-immigration protests, right? Because they're protesting in Chicago, but not only are they protesting, they're actually physically resisting. You can go on TikTok and type in Chicago and then ICE, and it'll show you literally, Jake with the trucks just ramming the shit out of Esau, It says the deployment, confirmed by the Pentagon, confirms as tensions rise around U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE, facilities in the state where demonstrators have clashed with law enforcement. Right over there, and the Chicago police are actually clashing with ICE. It's a mess over there, man. Chicago really, really standing on business, man. The Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom out there ain't playing no games, man. They out there beating the shit out of them. All right. I don't want to say that they, guns were shot or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that's happening too. They're just not putting it on the news. It says the troops were mobilized for an initial 60-day period in support of the federal protection mission to protect federal functions, personnel, and property, according to a Pentagon statement. The action follows reports of aggressive confrontations, including an incident where federal agents were rammed and boxed in by 10 vehicles. Yeah, it's literally people on TikTok flexing their trucks. I'm talking about pickup trucks, Suburbans, excursions with the bumper guards, like the police bumper guards in the front, and they're literally ramming ICE vehicles and making them crash. I'm talking about these vehicles they're literally ramming them off the road, chasing them, and they're getting scared. They making lefts, making rights, and they can't shake them. They're scared. That's why they had to deploy the National Guard. And that's the thing. That's exactly what Esau wants you to do. He wants you to resist so that he has an excuse. All right, a brother, hey, the big bro Tatapunya sent in the chat of that one Edomite that was talking about how Trump is he's going to initiate the Insurrection Act, or he has already done it. He's going to have that legal way to throw out the Constitution. He's going to have the legal means to throw out the Constitution, take away all your rights completely, and just lock you all up, put you in concentration camps. That's what they want to do. They want to lock this whole thing up, hip everybody, man. This is prophecies of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai coming to pass right here, man. This is amazing. Who would have thought gangland would have been the place where it erupts like this? Because LA did they thing, the tear gas and all that stuff. But in Chicago, they chasing ICE. They literally chasing ICE out of town, right? It says boxed in by prompting Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to announce additional special operations personnel over the weekend, right? So they needed backup. Protests have centered on an ICE facility in Broadview, Illinois, where about a dozen people have been arrested in recent days, right? Because when they was in LA and they found out where they were staying in LA, they was just out making noise all night trying to keep them up. But when they found out that they were at in Chicago, they said, fuck that, we ramming cars, right? Images from the scene show law enforcement detaining protesters and federal agents stationed outside the building. Fox News footage captured National Guard troops at the Army Reserve Training Center in Elwood, south of Joliet, indicating their readiness for deployment. Let me see if I can skip down a little bit. Let me see. I wanted to see if they were actually going to talk about the mayor, because they mentioned the mayor, but it doesn't look like they actually, or the mayor made any statements. But when you look, you can look it up on your own time, where the mayor of Illinois, all right, actually said, that what Trump is doing is wrong and they're going to resist it, right? So, yeah, Donald Trump is ordering 400 Texas Guard members to Illinois, Oregon, and other locations, right? Yeah, man. It's not just in Illinois, man. Hey, this is beautiful, man. Signs of the times, man. This is straight up division, evil happening, man. And I'm going to get the scriptures, because what's going to happen is eventually they're going to just deploy the troops to just lock up every major city. All right, that's what we're going to see happening in the next few up and coming weeks and months, Lord's will. Mark 3:24, if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. So this place is through. It's over already. It already lost. The fact that it's divided like this, the fact that Trump has to deploy troops to one of its own cities, to one of its own major cities. Okay? And the mayor is saying, no, we're not going to do what you told us to do. That's big, man. That's a huge division. It's one thing to have disagreements, but then still do the same thing. But it's another to have disagreements and resist. All right? PD resisting ICE as well. They haven't talked about that in the article either. You can find that news in alternative news media. Isaiah 19:2. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. City against city and kingdom against kingdom. And that's exactly what you see happening, man. All right? Because you got Texans going to Illinois, all right, to fix the problem or to help. Right? They're probably going to get chased out too. That's the thing. It's just National Guard. These niggas in Chicago don't give a shit about that, man. The YNs and the Northern Kingdom YNs too, man, that don't give a shit. That's the thing, man. It ain't just Judah that's rousing up either, man. Judah rousing up the tribes, going to rouse up the tribes, obviously. But right now, you see Judah and Northern Kingdom really joining together and saying, F it, man, we all going to fight. And that's what they on. That's the type of timing that they on, man. And it's a beautiful thing to see prophecy happening. All right, not a beautiful thing to see them joining in wickedness. All right, but hey, it's a beautiful thing to see prophecies happening, man. The divisions, and soon they just gonna lock it all up. Soon Trump is gonna be like, F it. They are the cruel Lord, like it said in Isaiah 19, I believe the 4th verse. Right? He is fitting that to a T right now. Soon he's gonna lock this whole thing up. Everything going on right now is aimed at the tribes, from the scientific racism going on to the troops being deployed to ICE being deployed. They take it Northern and Southern. It all started with that one building where they just took everybody, Northern and Southern Kingdom. Jake said, F it, enough is enough. That's why they're doing what they're doing. 2 Esdras 15:14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. The modern day sword is a gun. That's what you see happening. Okay? For there shall be sedition among men. Yeah, sedition is an uprising. All right? Let me just get the definition on that real quick. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, factitious commotion in the state. Concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. That's exactly what's going on in Chicago right now. There shall be sedition among men. That's exactly what you see. Men are rising up. They're saying, "F it, you can't tell me what to do." You can't take away. Hey, even Southern Kingdom's like, yo, you can't take away my brother like that. You see all types of videos of Judites standing up saying, you're not gonna do that to our brothers. And yeah, they're using those words. All right, hey, some people see it, some people don't. You got a lot of dumbass Southern Kingdom people that are saying it's not our fight. It's like, okay, it's not your fight till they come get us all, right? Now you're like, oh, fuck it, all right, we'll unite. Right? So there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. That's exactly what you see happening. They're not regarding the authority. Because best believe, the National Guard is going to get sent. They ain't going to really lock it down like that, man. They're going to get chased out too. What they going to do? Pull up with the M4s? Jake got the M4s. They got the stolen. Hey, the CIA gave it to them. Right? It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? So essentially people are going to do what they want to do. The course of their action shall stand in their power, meaning that they're going to do what they want to do. All right. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? That's exactly what you're going to see happening as well. More and more and more, man. All right? Man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's martial law. Okay? That's the troops locking things up. Because soon it ain't just going to be the National Guard. It's going to be all of them. Some gonna, betray the state, betray the government. Some are gonna stay back and do what they're told. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right, that's what's coming up, man. Soon it's gonna also be scarcities of supplies. They're gonna lock shit down. No trucks coming in, nothing going out. There's going to be a lack of supplies. The government probably going to be rationing, and it ain't going to be enough, and it's just going to cause uproars. Hey, that's what's coming up in the next up and coming few weeks and months. Lord's will soon. That's every major city. It's going to be like Chicago. All right, but hey, that's the signs of the times. Lord's will. This was exhorting and edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, or Kakodash, double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone, mature them and that will taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the electors. Always, Shalom.